All right, I want to touch on something we just touched on a little there, where you said you're not actually going around talking to dead people all the time. Like you said, it's something you can turn on, turn off, and it is something you do for a living. Have you ever had a situation happen where you've heard something and it was an inappropriate time?
Yeah, absolutely. I don't like going to funerals and wakes. It's not a place that I don't like the energy of grief. I mean, I deal with it all my it's my job, but there are certain places that I don't like being. I really hate going to funerals. So my wife dragged me to a funeral, and I said I don't really want to go, and she said why? I said because I might wind up working, and I did. I wound up going to a funeral, and the person that we went to the wake for wound up communicating with me at her own wake, and I had four pages of notes. And I said to my wife, I go, you dragged me here. I go, so then you're going to have to play secretary and write all this down. So, yeah, I mean, I think that's like an inappropriate time to be doing it, even though that's why people are there.
All right. Well, what happens? So you're somewhere, and then someone starts talking to you, and like you said, sometimes you have 4 pages of notes you have to write down. What happens when you're speaking with someone who has crossed over? Is the experience always the same?
Mm. Well, the process is the same for me because it's like I'm an instrument, so I'm a piano and I only have 88 keys that they can work with. Let's look at it that way. So my process is kind of the same, but how the energy on the other side plays this piano is completely separate and unique, depending upon their level of ability and communication. So it's never the same, but it's similar. Personalities are different. People's desire to come across with certain things are different. It's never boring, I'll tell you that. And you have to be a little bit nosy. You have to be a little bit like a detective. You have to be kind of like inquiring to dig deeper to know, like, well, what is this and what could this mean? And then to let the client not say anything to make sure that you're the one who's giving the information to protect the integrity of their experience. So that when they go back and tell their family that they had this happen, the family doesn't turn around and go, well, what did you say? Or you must have asked this, or because it's a field that's fraught with phonies. You know what I'm saying? Like there are people who, for centuries, have scammed people when it deals with the world of the supernatural. So you're working against that when you legitimately do this work.